good, everybody? Welcome back to Bain Break It Down Forex. It's your boy Big Bain in this thing. You guys guessed it, another week, another opportunity for us to make some money in the Forex market. So let's get right to it. All right, boom, over on the dollar, guys. So we had a massive drop all last week. All right, as you can see, just day after day, we were falling. And again, I told you guys this in the weekly watch list of last week, right, that we were going to have a major drop on the dollar. That's exactly what happened. So now we just had to change a character here, breaking below this low, and we're kind of like, you know, in a bit of a demand area, if you will, right now where price currently is. So what I'm expecting when the week opens on the dollar is for it to pretty much push up like this, right? We'll get some sort of retracement back to Thursday's low, all right, something like that, and then we'll, you know, kind of bring it back down. Let me get this back. So it'll be something like this, and then we'll come back and hit one of these numbers, most likely just kind of getting to this swing low. All right, so temporarily bullish on the dollar for some sort of retracement, right, from the high of Thursday all the way to, you know, the low of Friday, pretty much. So within there we should get some sort of retracement, and then once we're there, we're going to get a major drop to that swing low and possibly, you know, just continue to fall as we have plenty of room to do so on the dollar, as you guys can see, right? But just for, you know, getting right into the beginning of the week, I expect a retracement, right? It may drop a little lower, and then again, like I said, we're still in a demand zone, right? So we may do exactly this, like how you see we have that wick that's just sweeping below this demand area right here, right? So we can have exactly that, right? Do a retracement and then do the major drop. Where you guys want to kind of, you know, go about this is just wait for the retracement to happen, right? If it doesn't, you know, because price can still just drop, right? We can open the week and this bad boy shoot all the way down. Not likely, right? Because we had a major drop already, right? And we're running into a support or demand level, which again pulls price up, right? So again, I don't expect it to just break through it right away. I do expect us to have some sort of you know, rejection, if you will, and then the retracement, the correction, pullback, right, into this area before we get that next major drop, right? So look for that to happen on the dollar, right? Temporarily bearish, but I'm sorry, temporarily bullish, but then overall bearish on the dollar. All right, moving over to the JPY, and here on the JPY, you guys can see that after all that falling, we finally had a nice bullish engulfing candle on the daily time frame, right? So we broke Thursday's high and we went higher. So now we're close to taking out the weekly high from last week, all right, on JPY. So that's what I'm expecting price to do. But if we get to a lower time frame, right, like the 4-hour, what you guys can see now is that we have a huge imbalance. All right, so we have this huge fair value gap sitting in this area. Okay, so with that, we can expect a retracement, a correction, or a pullback into that fair value, right? So how can we determine how far it will pull back before it starts to head back up to take out that weekly high and the high of Friday? Glad you asked. Fibonacci, guys, all right? Place it because we're looking to see how far price can drop before it rises. We're placing Fibonacci from the low to the high, all right, of this point here. And now you can see Fibonacci says we'll most likely get down to this area, right? Maybe the 61 at the lowest, and then we'll start to head up, take out that weekly high. This is what I'm expecting on the JPY exactly. Now, you know, taking out that weekly high, you know, could take some time, right? This retracement can happen on Sunday and Monday, right? Probably get into this area, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, even Friday, will get the run up to this particular high, maybe even to where Fibonacci is telling us it can get to, because we have a lot of liquidity sitting behind all of these equal highs, all right, as well as huge imbalance in that same zone or that same area. So I can definitely see JPY climbing from this respective fair value gap all the way up to this area, which will cause the JPY pairs to absolutely tank, guys. All right, they have been rising like crazy from, you know, everything previous to this week coming, right? So now that we have this engulfing candle and this change of character from down to up, right, we're just going to get that pullback initially, and then we're going to, you know, that's going to be again the pullback, and then from there it's going to be the run. So on that run, guys, that is going to cause pairs like UJ, which is already tanked, right? With this move here on Friday that it did, all the JPYs started falling anyway. All right, but now those JPY pairs are going to make corrections, right? So they fell, right? As a matter of fact, I can just show you here, right? So here is AJ, for example. Look, it fell, right? My team took advantage of it, but now these pairs are going to retrace, right? They're going to go up as the JPY goes down, right? And then from there, guys, the JPY will, these J pairs will fall as the JPY rises. I'm telling you right now, guys need to get ready to take advantage of selling from these high points on your JPY pairs. They're already AJ, CJ, right? Huge imbalance. Okay. CHF, JPY is almost ready. It'll probably push up a little bit, give a major drop down. Guys, we're talking hundreds of pips, right? 700, 800 pips on this. Again, that can obviously take time, but it's about you getting in from the tippy top of knowing that we're going to have a major drop. All right, all bars intended. Okay, but seriously, guys, if you look for your selling opportunities on these JPY pairs, you're going to make a killing this week coming, right? Maybe you can try to take the retracement up, right? But be careful, because again, you know, you're going against the trend at that point, but it's, you know, it's pretty likely that it will rise. Okay, so, you know, you can take it if you want, but we're not really, you know, fond of doing that, right? We're fond of getting in with the trend, because at that point price moves further down and it moves faster because it's now going with the waves instead of against the wave, right? Hope that makes sense. Okay, GJ, another one, pull back, it's going to drop, right? NJ, all of them, right? I got them already all marked up, ready to go, and I'm telling you, these pairs are going to pay tremendously, so don't sleep on those J's. All right, but temporarily bearish on JPY, big time bullish on JPY. All right, moving over to our dollar. All right, and again, when the dollar fell, right, which I told you guys what happened last week, told you guys our dollar would go up to the moon. Here's Sunday when last week was, and then it went 212 pips all week. All right, so if you took out a standard lot and you bought right out the gate, you would have made at least 2 bands for the week, right? 2 bands in 5 days, not bad, right? But now, again, because the dollar has fell so much, right, it's going to give some sort of retracement, meaning it's going to go up. Therefore, the odd dollar is going to have its retracement or its correction, and it's probably going to get to this fair value. Again, we can place Fibonacci from the low of the week to the high of the week and look at where Fibonacci says we're most likely going to get to. So you're going to have some sort of retracement of about 100 and some odd pips right to this area, from which we're going to be looking to buy from once again. And you can try to take advantage of the pullback if you want, but you know, going against the trend is going against the trend. What can happen is price can just pull back a little bit and then just start to rise up again, right? So, you know, it's up to you how you want to play that. Just know that if price happens to drop within this area, you should definitely be looking to buy. And once you do, you have an opportunity, once again, make over 200 pips on dollar. All right, so temporarily bearish for the retracement, but I'm overall bullish once again this week on the dollar, guys. Don't miss out. All right, so now we are moving over to euro dollar. Same exact thing, guys. All right, had a break of structure, right? We're pushing into you know, trying to get to this swing high, which again, when the week begins, we may just flat out push up to that, right? But chances are, because we were rising every single day last week, all right, it's overdue for a correction. All right, so again, this is just all probability. That's not a guarantee that it's going to correct itself, right? But we're looking at you know, just monitoring what price does before we make a move, right? We're not just buying right when the week begins because, you know, I'm saying, oh, it's going to rise, right? That's not how that goes, right? We're looking at getting in at a discount rate, right? You know, this is pretty much, you know, 100 or 1.183, sorry, 1.1830, right? If we bought it there, you know, that's us buying it at a high price. But then if we come down to this area, that's 1.7154. Obviously that's a lower price than this is. And guys, you know, you're buying anything, right? Doesn't matter what it is. If you can get it for a lower price, that's what you want, right? And that's exactly what we want. So we're gonna, you know, wait for price to give us some sort of retracement. If I take this low and, you know, currently where this high is, again, this is kind of where we're expected to retrace to, even though, you know, we have some fair value below that it can also get to before it rises. Either way, I'm expecting it to drop, right? Here's 100 and some odd pips, right, to somewhere in this area before we get the rise on euro dollar. So again, if you guys want to try to sell that retracement, pullback, or correction, feel free. But just know that once we get a good retracement where price is now somewhere within this area, want to be looking to buy, price to go and take out this swing, again, giving you almost 200 pips, just like it did from the previous week. All right, there it is, 200. So again, correction and another 200, right? Taking candy from a baby. All right, I am temporarily bearish, but overall bullish on dollar, right? Pound dollar, you guys can guess, is pretty much the same thing, right? Expecting that retracement, probably halfway, maybe to the point where we broke, right? And then a rise on GU, all right? So bullish on GU. Same for NU, right? And NU has already kind of retraced back to this fair value, right? If we look at it on the 4-hour, you guys can see it was a nice and lovely touch. All right, so with that, we could easily just continue rising, but now we have one more fair value gap that we have here, right? And I will illustrate that in a second. All right, so there it is. So we can simply retrace back to this and then take off, right? It all depends, but ultimately on these non-dollar based pairs, right, I am bullish, right? But we don't want to buy it high. We want to have it trace, pull back, or correct in some form of fashion before we buy it. All right, if it goes on without you, oh well, right? Let it go, right? Wait for it to get to a lower price and then you get in for the buy. All right, bullish on New Zealand dollar. All right, dollar CAD. So again, dollar fell all last week. I am expecting a correction, so I expect dollar CAD to now rise, right? Potentially just getting half of let's see, 4 hour. All right, so here was the high for Friday, right? And here was the low of Friday and the low of the week. So just putting Fibonacci from that high to the low, this is where we're going to go. And what do you know? Within there lies another fair value gap, right? These gaps are showing bearish momentum, right? And bearish pressure to the downside, right? So buyers did not get a chance to do anything, you know, at the end of the week, right? But now they can, take their profits, right, which will create buy orders. They can also set sell limits or pending orders that will, also be looked at as buy orders, if you will, to a degree. But mainly just the profit taking is going to be what's causing price to rise and correct itself. So knowing that, right, we can take advantage by just setting orders in these areas and placing our stop above Friday's high, which we don't expect it to get higher than. All right, so selling from the top fair value gap down to where Fibonacci says, we're getting 150 pips off of that. If you try to catch the retracement, right, you can get anywhere from 50 to maybe 80 pips. Good luck, but that's not how I'm going to play it. All right, I'm going to wait patiently until I get the retracement, and then I'm going to load up for a sell down to take out the swing low here, making about 100 pips. All right, so I'm bearish on dollar CAD. All right, over to dollar CHF, same exact thing. I expect a retracement right up into this fair value gap that you guys can see right here. Right, and again, if we place Fibonacci from the high to the low, right, it's kind of sitting below that fair value gap. But regardless, this is the area that you want to be looking for your selling opportunity. If you get in from here down to where Fibonacci says, again, over 170 pips, easy, bearish on dollar CHF. Right, dollar JPY, look at that baby fly. Right, it has definitely dropped tremendously on Friday. Okay, and it's heading to take out the liquidity here and possibly, any swing low that we see to the far left. Right, but with that huge move down, again, we should get some sort of retracement back up to the area that we broke, which was kind of like this point right here, which was a change of character, making nice uptrend structure. Right, but we failed to break above this high, and then we tanked tremendously on Friday, breaking this low. So instead of us making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, right, we started making equal highs and lower lows. So we've changed structure from up to down, and now to complete, or to continue the downtrend structure, we need to make a lower high. Okay, that's where that pullback is necessary or needed, right, in order to create that lower high. And then we start creating lower lows, we start breaking lows once again, and we just completely continue to do that till we get to wherever one of these points is going to be. All right, so please understand, don't sell it low, guys. Wait for it to retrace back to the area that it broke, right, or at least where Fibonacci says it may retrace to, right, taking it from the high to the low. And look, it's right where I marked it up. It's always the same, guys. When you guys see the cycle, when you understand it, when you know it, you're able to take advantage of it big time, right? So again, be patient and just wait for this to play out, but bearish on dollar JPY. All right, all the JPYs are going to fall, so just wait for the retracement and then get in. All right, moving over to pound odd. All right, and it looks like we're definitely near a nice demand or support or swing, right, a major swing. So we can start to rise. We did reject the previous day, right? So this was Thursday that we rejected, and we closed within that range of Thursday. So we can easily go to take out the high of Thursday, right, as well as the high of Friday, and get into this fair value gap. Now we can continue to break above that, but chances are, we may respect this and we may head down to actually take out the swing low, right? So initially I'm bullish on this, then I'm looking for price to drop, so I'll be bearish, and then that's 264 pips easy. All right, bullish then bearish on pound odd. All right, over to pound CAD, and so far it looks like we've pretty much kind of gotten very close to this swing point. All right, but we broke above Thursday's high and we went higher, so I expect us to continue going higher. But before we do that, right, we'll most likely have a retracement down, right? So really kind of looking at, do we have any particular area where we can bounce off of if we do retrace down? And I don't really quite see it on the 4 hour. So looking at it on the 2 hour, and now, you know, we can see that we have an FVG sitting right here, right? So chances are get a retracement to this fair value gap, respect it, and start to rise, taking out these highs. And then if we go back to the higher time frame, you can see that we're aiming possibly for this swing high. All right, so keeping that in mind, if we wait for the retracement to the fair value gap here and then we take it all the way up, you guys are looking at 266 pips, possibly more, right? If it has, you know, enough momentum driven behind it, right? So pound odd is looking very good for a buying opportunity. All right, don't sleep on pound odd. I'm bullish. I'm sorry, pound CAD, correction, that was pound CAD. All right, but now over to pound CHF, and this looks bearish. All right, guys, we had a we took out the high of Thursday, right, and we tapped right into a fair value gap, and now we're sitting where we're closer to the low of Friday and the low of this week, right? So I expect us just straight drop on pound CHF, and we'll be headed to take out this swing low, right? So with that, we're looking at almost 300 pips, right, to 80. Pound CAD, I'm sorry, pound CHF, I'm getting these all mixed up. I'm bearish. All right, so pound CHF looking for the drop. GJ, all right, told you guys already, looking for the drop, so you guys know what time it is with GJ. Just wait for it to retrace back into this fair value gap, at least halfway, and then take the trade. And there's so much money on the table for GJ if we get back to the daily time frame. Okay, and really take a look at this, right? We have a nice swing low right here. So if we do a quick measurement from there to where price currently is, you're looking at 557 pips, guys. Get paid, and GJ moves very, very quickly. All right, so GJ, I am bearish. Pound New Zealand, all right, same thing. We just had a change of character, right? We were going up, and then we had a major drop from Thursday all the way into Friday, taking out this low and potentially this one as well. So now we're going to get some sort of correction. If we go to the 4 hour, right, we're going to get that correction to this fair value gap, right? You can't see it here, maybe it's on the 2 hour. Yeah, somewhere within here, all right, is where we'll probably get back to, maybe a little lower. So you're going to have to eyeball it and monitor, you know, where you get the turnaround. But ultimately, pound New Zealand is also looking very bearish. So you know, look for the drop after it rises just a little bit to get a little deeper. Again, it can drop right from this point of interest, which is right where it broke, and, you know, just continue falling. But either way, like I said, getting down to that swing low, where is it? Okay, well, this will be the swing low right about here. All right, and coming from that fair value gap on down at 800 pips, if we just get it from the change of character on down, that's 676 pips. Either way, major plays on these pound pairs and the JPY pairs that I really hope you guys don't, you know, miss out on, because it's going to be, right, trying to warn you. Go on silver. Clearly, silver does not plan on falling anytime soon because of all the geopolitical tension, right? So looking at it, we broke above, let me go back. Daily, we broke above Thursday's high significantly on Friday. So I do expect us to continue rising, but we should make some sort of retracement before we rise. So looking at it on the 2 hour time frame, and now you can see all the FEGs that we kind of have in the mix. So, you know, getting down to here and then rising, possibly, you know, down to this area and rising. You just have to wait for it. All right. again, sometimes it doesn't happen, right? Sometimes it just takes off and it keeps going. It all depends on, you know, certain things. But if we do get a drop, just know that you should be excited to get ready to buy, because you'll be buying at a discount. And from what price has shown us on Friday, it wants to continue rising. Typically people take profit and there'll be some sort of correction in that before it rises again. All right, guys, so I'm bullish on silver, but watch out for the retracement, and then from there you'll be good. Right, over to gold, same exact thing. All right, so we broke above the high of Thursday. So going back to the daily, right, you can see here's Thursday's high and we broke above that, and we actually have a nice hammer candle that formed. So we already had some sort of rejection, you know, into Thursday, where we broke above it when we ended Friday. So now again, we may have just a little correction and then, you know, take off on Sunday, Monday, but we also could just blast right through without making any correction, right? So that is also a possibility for gold to just take off. Either way, guys, I'm bullish, right? I would like for it to trace down, you know, here or there, but you know, if you just have a position on, if you buy gold right out the gate and you have a stop loss behind here, possibly behind Friday's low, right, you're good to go. Right, so yes, this is risking a lot, right? That's a 94 pip move, that's 940 pips, but you know, let's just aim for 1 to 2 on this. All right, and you can see that you're getting 190 on the upside, right? So risking 940, but you're making 1,900. All right, and guys, this is, you know, just tremendous amount of money if you have a standard lot. All right, here was you know, $135 move, right, and it only took 8 hours. Okay, so you never know how long this can take, but gold is ready to explode right now. So, you know, try to take advantage. All right, I'm bullish on gold. All right, over to natural gas, and natural gas has broken above a high. All right, and again, this is our Thursday candle here. So we closed inside. We didn't take out the high, we didn't take out the low, but we definitely broke a swing high to left here. So that tells us that we do want to go higher. So you know, we're just taking into consideration right now from a lower time frame that, you know, we may get this correction into all of this imbalance that you see here, right? So again, you know, we can take the whole week, right, the low of last week from Monday to Friday, right, and Fibonacci says we'll get in this area again, which is where the FEGs sit. Okay, so we might get a drop on natural gas before we get the rise, or we may just rise, right? You never really know, because you don't always get the correction, right? You get it pretty, you know, it's pretty high percentage that you get it, but you know, there are times where you just don't get it right away, right? So maybe it'll push up some, right, and then do some kind of nasty wick, right, to come in, you know, complete that retracement and then go up again. But from what we got with the break of structure, guys, we should be looking for buys on natural gas. Just watch out for, you know, a retracement first. That way you can get it at a lower price and then aim, you know, this area with Fibonacci, make a ton of money on natural gas. All right, and over to oil, and same for oil, guys. So we broke previous highs on Thursday, and now ready to continue higher. We're close to the swing high, so I'm just expecting for oil to trace back into these fair value gaps and then take off. Again, we're looking at roughly a $2 move, right? That's 200 pips on oil. I am bullish. Right, moving over to SPY. Now this is where things get interesting, okay, because from this higher time frame, guys, SPY looks hella bearish. All right, almost kind of completing a bit of a head and shoulders, not quite, but regardless, the highs are getting lower, right? So we made higher high, but now we have a lower high, right, with a lower low on top of that. So we are absolutely at the beginning of a reversal on these indices, right? So from Thursday, right, we closed as an inside bar, so we didn't take out the high, we didn't take out the low, but we definitely got close to taking out the high. And if we look at it on the 4-hour time frame, what we can see is that, you know, we're very close to the supply area, and we mitigated this huge imbalance that it had. And now you can see how the candles are giving lots of wickage at the top, and they're curving, right? They're giving us this nice curve, guys. It's just screaming fall, fall, fall. All right, so without a shadow of a doubt, guys, I am bearish on these indices, and I will be looking for just a little bit of a retracement up, right, to kind of sweep you know, previous week high as well as Friday's high, right? Just kind of sweep it, tap into supply, and then drop. So any kind of position, you know, like this is wait, nope, that's the wrong direction. All right, but let me see. Yep, there we go. So anything like this where you get above that supply area, or maybe even above the swing, right? But I don't think you have to, you know, aim for that area, but just right above here, 27 points, and take it right down to Friday's low. You're getting a 1 to 6 and 164 points on SPY, guys. All right, very, very bearish on the indices overall. You can see we can really get down to the low for 434 points on SPY, guys. You know, I'm selling it right out the gate. You know, do what you feel. You know, this is not financial whoop, right? But definitely looking for a major drop on SPY. All right, I'm bearish. Nas, same thing, guys. Same exact thing. These highs were getting higher. All of a sudden, we got lower high, lower high, lower low, and another equal high, which is still lower than all the rest. Okay, so this has definitely tapped nicely into supply, and we've gotten a candle to close lower that Friday. So guys, looking at this and just selling it right out the gate, that's 669 points to, you know, the lower Friday. But we got, you know, right below that almost 900 points. And if we get to the swing, guys, you know, we're looking at, see here, 1700 points on Nas. Guys, if you want to make some money, okay, look into, you know, taking some selling opportunities on these indices. All right, they are looking prime time. All right, bearish on Nas. Last but not least, just 30, same exact thing, guys. They birds of a feather, and even more beautifully, we have a nice rising channel, right, that we can easily, you know, or which represents a bearish reversal, where we can easily take advantage of a sell if we see one from the lower time frame, which we do. Again, I expect some sort of retracement up before we fall, but we can just fall, right? You never really know what you're going to get. But again, when you're selling, you'd rather sell high, right? You'd rather sell something for $20 than to sell it for 10, more money for you, right? Same situation here. Want to get it from the top and get it to drop right to the low of Friday, which will give you over 1,000 points, guys. I'm bearish on US 30. This is a very beautiful week, guys. Lots of great setups, especially on the JPY pairs. The pound pairs are going to give you a little something, as well as the major pairs, guys, in the commodities. Like, everything's set up. You know, we don't always have these kind of beautiful weeks, right? It takes time for them to get ready, but now we have one. All right, so please focus, right, and get your positions in, and ask some questions in the chat. You know, let me know what you're looking at, and what, you know, what you're thinking, you know, what direction you think it's going to go in, and, you know, we can talk about it. But you know, besides that, guys, you know, get it together. All right, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. All right, plenty of great content on the way. Dropped a bunch of videos this year, so make sure to go and check out the channel. Right, everything from market structure, support and resistance, all the basics of what you need to know. I break it all down to get you ready to you know, make something happen this year. All right, but in the meantime, in between time, you know what I'm saying, y'all know what it is. It's your boy. I'm out. Peace.
Wanna get money? Wanna get paid?
Master Forex like a sensei, then you know you gotta come and swing my way. And if you wanna fast forward, hit replay.